What is pre-reading? Well, imagine we want to build a comfy new house. So let's get to work. Dig a foundation, pour concrete, install plumbing, rig wiring, put up a roof. But wait, are we doing this right? Maybe we should be more careful. Pre-reading is something you do before you pick up the guitar. So instead of just rushing ahead willy-nilly, let's set aside the guitar and see what's going on in the sheet music. Here's Sore 1. It's the first piece in your book, Learning the Classic Guitar. See that elegant curvy thing? That's a treble clef. You'll always see it at the beginning of guitar music. If you were a violist, you'd see an alto clef. If you were a cellist or you played tuba, you'd see a bass clef. But you're a guitarist, so you'll see a treble clef. See those two dots at the very end? That's a repeat sign. That means when you get to the end, you go right back to the beginning of the piece and play it again. Music is marked off by measure lines. Everything between two consecutive measure lines is a measure. Sore 1, for example, is 8 measures long. So measures are how we measure the music. They're kind of like roadside mile markers. They tell us where we are in the music. Now let's get into the musical notes. That's where the action is. A note tells us two things: pitch and rhythm. Pitch is how high or low a note sounds. For example, here's a high pitch. Here's a low pitch. Sore 1 has two pitches in it. Here's G. On the guitar, G is on the open third string. The other pitch in Sore 1 is D. On the guitar, D is on the open fourth string. Okay, now let's look at rhythm. See those numbers after the treble clef? That's the time signature. The time signature is very important. It keeps track of the beat. The top number tells us that there are 2 beats per measure. What's a beat? Well, let's say you want to tap your foot along with Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. There's a right way to do it. The wrong way is to tap your foot with every note. Yeah, that's wrong, because a beat should be regular and steady, with all the beats of the same duration. Here's the right way. Yes, that's the right way, because the beat was regular and steady. Now let's look at the 2 rhythmic values in Sore 1. Here's a quarter note. It's exactly equal to the beat. So when you play quarter notes, they go right with the beat. Here's an eighth note. Eighth notes go exactly twice as fast as a quarter note. So when you play eighth notes, it takes 2 of them to fill 1 beat. Well, now that you've learned a thing or two about music, let's put it to work in pre-reading Sore 1. First, let's make sure you understand the rhythm. We musicians do that with something we call counting. Counting is just a way of saying rhythm out loud. So let's look at how it's done. Here's the first line of Sore 1. Beats 1 and 2 are written under every measure. Musicians always keep track of the beat, so you'll say the beat aloud. Now, if there's a note between two beats, you need to keep track of that too. Musicians do this by saying and. We could write and under every note that's between two beats, but that takes too long. Instead, we'll use a plus sign. That's more easy to write. Here's the first line of So-Re 1 with all the counting written in. So let's clap all the notes and we'll say aloud everything written under the notes. I'll count you in. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2. Great! You just counted the beginning of So-Re 1. If you can do this easily with no mistakes, then you really understand the rhythm. Now let's make sure you know the pitches. Here's the first line of So-Re 1 again, but this time with the correct pitch name written under every note. So let's say this aloud, and just for fun, let's say it with the correct rhythm. 1 and 2 and G, 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 D, 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 G, G. Congratulations! You've done pre-reading. You're now ready to pick up the guitar and begin practicing So-Re 1. Let's step back a moment. You may be a little overwhelmed right now. You may even be annoyed. After all, who wants to do so much work? Forget all that stuff. We just want to play. But think about it. Was it really that hard? You learn simple things bit by bit. That's always the best way. And remember the old joke, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. When you do pre-reading right, you know what you're doing. And when we say you know, we don't mean you kind of sort of know. Kind of sort of knowing is not good enough. You want to know, because when you really know, you can be better. So, what is pre-reading? Pre-reading helps you understand what you're going to do before you try to do it. It shows that you care about getting it right. And here's one more thing to think about. Pre-reading harnesses the power of gradual progress. Each time you learn even a tiny detail, you get closer to mastery. Every great thing begins with one small step. You can do amazing things. Just give it time.